Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogam, Sloka number 16. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Bahirantascha Bhutanam Acharam Charameva Cha Sukshmatvat Tadvigneyam Tadavigneyam Sukshmatvat Tadavigneyam Sukshmatvat Durastam Chantike Chayat Tat Durastam Chantike Chatat. Dream appears and dream disappears. Appearance is called birth and disappearance is called death. But this appearance and disappearance happens only in the relative material phenomenal Nama-Rupa Prapancha, not in the self. In Brahman, in the self, this appearance and disappearance doesn't have any meaning. So if we see the dream as the dream, there is no problem. The wise person sees the dream as the dream, and he sees this phenomenal world also as the dream. Therefore, for a Gnani, there is no problem. But Ajnani, he sees the dream as the dream, but he sees the world as real. Here the entire samsara begins. Samsara means problem. Samsara means struggle. Samsara means misconception, misunderstanding. So Lord Shri Krishna, while answering to the Arjuna's questions, he explained about what is Kshetram, what is this matter, and what is the Kshetrajna, who sees this matter, who knows this matter. The seer is the Kshetrajna. Then after that, if you want to understand this too clearly, these two are not just as like the pairs of complementaries. Generally, when we talk about the two things in this Dvaita Prapancha, we call them as the duality, Dvandvas. But these two are not Dvandvas, Kshetram and Kshetrajna. In Kshetrajna, there is no duality at all. But in the Kshetram, all the dualities, the pairs of complementaries will appear. If our attention is on the Kshetra and the duality, then it is called ignorance. It is called samsara, suffering. Now, in order to understand this Kshetrajna thoroughly, firmly, and not only knowing the Kshetrajna as something as like a object, that Kshetrajna is none other than you, the subject. So to understand this, understanding means to abide in that knowledge of you or your self is the self, the Kshetrajna. You need at least 20 qualifications. Bhagavan enumerated before the 13th shloka, before that, in the beginning, 20 qualities. Under the heading of Gnanam, under the heading of Gnanam. Generally, the Gnanam meaning is in Vedanta different. That is about Atma Gnanam, Brahma Gnanam. But in this context, Bhagavan enumerating Gnanam, first of all, have all these qualities in you. Let your mind imbibed with, filled with these qualities, then you will become eligible. So we have elaboratedly saw those qualities 20, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, rajyavam, acharyopasanam, so many. Then later, from 13th shloka onwards, Bhagavan started explaining about the next word, fourth question, the Gneyam. What is to be known? Okay, with all these qualifications, with all this Shastra study, Vedanta, and following a guru, listening to the guru, ultimately what you want to know? What is that goal? Gneyam. Here, Gneyam, what should be known? What is the worthy of knowing? Or Gneyam is equal to Brahma, because Shastra tells only one thing you have to know in your life. All other things are secondary. Without knowing this one, you can never become complete. Your life never become fulfilled. That one is Brahman, Atma, Paramatma, consciousness, whatever. So that Gneyam, now started Bhagavan explaining in the last class, Sloka number 15 and 16. In every shloka, Bhagavan introducing the Adhyaropa, that is superimposition. These words, we can take it as the Dvandvas, inside, outside, nearer, far. All these are pairs of complementaries. One way we say, according to Vedanta, first saying, yes, this is this also, but this is not this. Like that apavada, removing. I will just give the gist of this 16th shloka, just to remind, then we'll go further. Here Bhagavan used the first two words. This Gneyam Brahma is in every being and in non-living beings also. Acharam and charamevacha bhutanam. Bhutanam is specially living beings. But what about the non-living beings? There Brahman is not there, truth is not there. No, true. Brahman is there also. Therefore, chara, achara, both movable and immovable things also. And in the jivas, if you take the beings, bhutas, in their inside and the outside also. So the first pair of words are bahihi antaha, outside, inside and outside. As we already know in Vedanta, this inside outside is only a concept of the mind. Time is the concept of the mind, space is the concept of the mind, inside outside is the concept of the mind, you and me is the concept of the mind. It doesn't have any sense really. Bahihi antaha. But I am experiencing inside outside. You are outside of me, definitely. I am seeing you solid with this height and weight and all that. But what we are talking, the Brahman, Gneyam Brahman, is like space. Is like space. Bhagavan himself given that example before. Vyomavat, Akasha like. So from the standpoint of Akash, in the last class I showed example of pot and this. Constructing a wall in the on the water bed can separate the water. Then you can say this side water, that side water, or water is not there at all that side when you construct the dam. But can you apply the same logic about the space? You constructed a wall for the purpose of the dam. You cannot say, where I constructed the wall, there is no space. This Sat or Chit, this Gneya Brahma which we are talking about, which is the subject matter here, is like the space. That's why for you to understand the example, space. So, Bahihi Antaha, only because of, now, to understand this, in the space, objects are moving. You are in the space. Your body is in the space. My body is in the space. This object is in the space. Everything is in the space. So, naturally, for transactional purpose, I will say the camera is outside of me. Definitely, really, camera is outside of me only, because my eyes are seeing. But we are not talking about these objects which appearing and going to disappear, which they were not having any permanency. Nityatvam is not there, and Satyatvam also is not there in them. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the space. Space is all pervading. Brahman also is all pervading. That's why the Sat principle, 2 classes before, we have elaboratedly talked about that, how to recognize that existence. By seeing every object, is, camera is there, clip is, you are. So everything is, you recognize by that easiness. Sound is, form is, taste is. That easiness is the existence. Like this we have told many by showing the example of certain things. Otherwise, only by this word of easiness is the Sat, that is the Brahman, mind cannot comprehend. So, is not there also is only. When you say the person is not there, always you use that is. So the absence also is the presence also is a presence. Difficult in understanding. Okay, bahihi antaha and acharam charam. Here, this achara and charam, let us take in this way, not just movable and immovable. That is one word generally. Brahman, Gneya Brahman is in fact immovable. Brahman, like space immovable. But as if Brahman is moving, because in this body Chaitanyam is there. The body is moving. So because the body has got a separate Chaitanyam, Jivatvam, and it is moving, because of that you cannot say that Brahman is moving. Again come back to the same example. In the space, the plane moves, racket moves, you are moving, your car is moving. Because of that, can you say the space is moving? Exactly like that, even though these living bodies are moving in the space, but really speaking, the Sat existence principle and even the consciousness principle also is not moving. But if you are limited your understanding with this only limited body, sir, if I am going from this room to other room, my intelligence, my remembrance, my jivatvam, gnanam, it is coming with me there also. You will tell like that. Or if a person died, then that body is not doing anything and Chaitanyam is not appearing, expressing. So because of that, I may feel that the Chaitanyam has gone somewhere. That is, Chaitanyam not gone anywhere. The disintegration of the Pancha Mahabhutas and Pancha Puranas, this happened there. That's why I told in the beginning, disappearance is death. Disappeared and they went to their original places. When they again join, and again appearance will happen. But for this Brahman, Satchit, existence, Gneya Brahman, no any of this moving, or you cannot use any complementary these words, opposite words, pairs of opposites, they cannot apply in the Brahman. Okay, we are trying to understand. Don't try to understand. You recognize it, that I am that. If you are trying to understand, then it is a problem. Tad Vigneyam, you must know, you must recognize in this way. Don't try to understand, because it is very, very, very subtle. Sukshmatvat tad avigneyam. But it is avigneyam means you cannot know. Yes, you cannot know, but you can recognize. Knowing is also recognizing only, sir. You are just using two different words. No. Claiming and knowing myself that. Understanding means through the mind you will try to understand so many things, or you say I didn't understand. This is not a question of understanding. This is not a question of concept. This is not a question of believe that. I believe that I am. No one say that. I may say that I believe Krishna is there, Rama is there. I believe God. Something means you have to believe, but your existence, you have to believe. You need any testimony for it? No. Therefore, it is not a belief, it is not a thought, or it is not a understanding, it is claiming that I am. Therefore, but being it is you, you never focus your attention on you, but you focus the attention, because mind's attention is always on something. That something is called object. But who is knowing that object? Behind the mind also, who is propelling, giving that Chaitanyam power to the mind is me, the consciousness, but you never turn your attention of the mind inside. Antarmukha samaradhyam, bahirmukha sudurlabha. You never turn it inside. Therefore, it is sukshmatvam. Seeing the gross thing is easy, no? Seeing the coronavirus is difficult. You need a microscope and all that further. Seeing a big object like this, no problem. And another pair of word Bhagavan used is, it is very, very far. He said that first, and then cancelling himself. No, it is very, very nearer. These two words are also have no meaning in the Brahman. If you are in the space and you say that, okay, that house is very far, our house is very nearer, and you talk these words to the space, space will laugh at you. What you are talking far and near? In my dictionary there is no near and far. Why? I am everywhere. I am everywhere. So when I talk about your house is distant, but space is far from me, for me. Space is nearer to me. If I refer to your house, the space is far, like, but it has no meaning. Therefore, being the Sat Brahman is all pervading, it is not far or near. Then why to say these two words? Then Shankaracharya writes that for a otherwise person, it is very, very far. It is very, very difficult to understand. When we talk Vedanta, start listening Vedanta, sleep will come. What to do? Because mind becomes so gross. Because last 40, 50, 60 years, mind is only engaged in the external gross objects and all that. Now turning that attention of the mind and bring to the sukshmatvam, you have to struggle. For that only different sadhanas are given, but for a qualified person, no sadhana is required. The Guru shows that you are that. Yes, Guru, I am that. That is so simple. Then why to study Vedanta 10 years, 15 years and following the Guru, doing the Guru Seva and all that? Because my grossness in the mind, my impurities in the mind has to be removed. Because the mind is only the standing in the middle as the obstacle and as the supporter also. Manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoho mana eva. So, durastham. For a wise person, it's not at all difficult. That is the difference. Durastham and antikechat. The next shloka today will start 17th. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam bhutabhartru cha tadgneyam bhutabhartru cha tadgneyam grasishnu prabha vishnu cha. Again, same way. In fact, as like the space cannot be divided, but as though the space is divided, we transactional purpose we keep on talk. This flat space is like this much square feet. It has got 3 bedrooms and big hall and all that. But space is not divided, cannot be divided in literal sense. But transactionally you are okay, that is for utility purpose it is okay. Even though it is avibhaktam, what? This gneyam Brahma cannot be divided. It is undivided, one without second. But because of these different beings and creatures and all that, it looks like that, and Atma is divided. Atma is divided. Even you talk about the Jivatma, Jivatma is not real at all. But until you come to this highest Gnanam, some extent Shastra explains about the Jivatma traveling, your Punya Karma, Papa Karma, so this is that, so be careful, follow the Dharma and all that. But after that, when you come to the higher steps of the ladder, here now Krishna is telling about the highest, the finest Upanishad essence. This is the Gnan, that's all. This is the Gneyam. Further, nothing is there. Further, you need not do anything. Therefore, even though it is undivided like the space, but being because of, I already spoken to you about this also in the last 20 minutes, division. So this is clearly brought out here, Bhuteshu. Vibhaktam eva, that eva please underline it. Actually, all these words are all like today. Acharam, charam eva. Avibhaktam, but vibhaktam eva. It is appearing like that. It is only appearance, not really. For this, Shankaracharya gives 1 or 2 examples, but in Shankaracharya's time, there is no lighthouse. Now we have lighthouses in every seashore, port. Let us see, what is the mechanism actually in that lighthouse? Some of you may have gone and saw that, but anybody explained to you or you know? You went top to see the whole city or the ocean. But really what? It appears as 3 beams of lights are just moving like this, rotated, and again 3 beams of lights comes like that. But when it falls in the city side, there is no light. Few seconds dark, and then again 3 beams of lights. 3 beams of lights are because the ocean is so big, they want to send the signal to this side also, this side also, this side also. Okay, so any ships are there, so 3 beams of light. Generally, if we don't know what is happening therein, we think that, oh, 3 lights are there and the 3 lights are constantly moving. But you know the fact? Exactly what here we are discussing only. Very appropriate example. The light only is one, Brahmam Ekam, and that is Prakasham. Okay, self-effulgent, one light, Prakash. And around that light, there is one kind of wooden gadget, one frame is fixed, and that frame has got 3 holes, and that frame, wooden frame, will move. So light is not moving and light is one. But what is my understanding before? First, generally anybody sees, oh, 3 lights are coming and the lights are constantly moving. But it's quite opposite when you know what exactly they are doing there. In the same way, here also, one self-effulgent Swayam Prakasham Brahman, undivided principle, as though divided many and as though it is moving. It's only as though, both the points. That's why no traveling, no going, no distance. To recognize you as the Brahman, no distance. So Brahman cannot travel. No need to travel. You tell me now, where space has to travel? Suppose if space thinks that I want to go to America, it cannot think first of all, because in America also I am only. Actually, America is in me. I am not in America. America is in me, everything is in me, India is in me, everything is in me. Therefore, avibhaktancha bhuteshu, but vibhaktamivacha sthitam. Shankaracharya gives in the Bhashya examples are, which we already know, but worthy to recollect here. The sun becomes the cause for appearance of the mirage water. Without the sun, in a cloudy rainy season, you cannot see the mirage waters. No? So sun becomes the cause, and he becomes the sustainer, and he becomes the swallower also. This point is told in the second line. What he says, Bhuta Bhartruhu. Here, first we have to take the word Bhuta Prabhavishnuhu. That Bhuta word can be added to 3 words. Bhuta Prabhavishnuhu. Prabhavishnu word is a popular name in the Vishnu Sahasranama. That means Adhishtanam, the base, because of which the all living and non-living beings are appearing. That's why I given the sun example, Shankara told. Because of the Brahman, because of the sun, let us see simultaneously the appearance of the mirage water. Without the sun, mirage water cannot appear. Then it will sustain for certain time, some time. Okay, that is called Bhartruhu, holding, sustaining. And Bhuta Grasishnu, Gras means swallowing, pulling, withdrawing, that also. So, all this appearance of the Namarupa Prapancha, even the Maya, where Maya taking shelter, support, Maya is only Maya, okay, but where it is, mirage water, okay, unreal, but where it is appearing, it needs some support. The earth road is needed, sun, mainly sun. mainly sun. Like that, Brahman not really created, not really become anything, but as though he created so many, as though he is maintaining so many, and as though he is destroying and dissolving everything into him, as though. That is important. Otherwise, we give reality to the creation and we will forget the Brahman. That understanding is only up to the Puranic level, not at the Vedantic level. So Bhagavan Krishna doesn't want to teach now here Purana. About my Purana, my life also, my Vyasa, stenographer, he already written Bhagavatam and all that. Those who want to enjoy that and listen to Bhagavata and look into the multitudinous of my glory. But don't think that all those are real. Real. Then what they are? They are like a dream. So Shankara given this sun example. Now you got the point. Second line talks about what is the source, what is the adhishtanam we call in Vedanta, or kutastha chaitanyam. There should be something. Even second example, Shankara gives our popular example of even the rope snake. You imagine the rope snake on the rope, but even that imagination happened because of what? Rope is there. So rope is the adhishtanam even for imagination. So I felt that it is like snake, but it is rope. So to give that idea of the snake for you, who is the cause? The rope. And that idea sustained for some time because of rope. Now the idea gone, it is not the snake, it is rope. Rope. So rope, before the wrong notion of snake, rope. After some time the rope idea continues, rope is there. And after the snake idea disappeared, gone, wrong, rope is there. So ultimately rope only is there, snake never doesn't exist at all. So this world also just like that. Just like that. Let us take our own example experience also. Every time we are telling that. In dream, what I am doing? In dream, I am only there. I means my mind is there. The subconscious mind projecting. So the mind alone is projected, sustained and dissolved. What is dream? In the same way, the whole world of Nama Rupa appearance is the dream of the Brahman. Or you say Paramatma. Bhagavan ka ye swapna hai sab. When you look the dream as, that's why I started with the dream as the dream, no problem. Otherwise, if you take the dream and think it is real, then there is a problem. Then, the next shloka, don't forget, all we are talking about this Sat Chit Ananda Brahma, that is I am. Sloka number 18. Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi.
Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi.
Tamasah paramuchyate.
Tamasah paramuchyate.
Gnanam gneyam gnanagamyam.
Jnanam gneyam gnanagamyam.
Hrudi sarvasya vishtitam.
Hridi sarvasya vishtitam.
Now, after listening this much about the Gneya Vastu, the Brahman, still there is a possibility of doubt remains in the mind. What is that doubt? You are saying it cannot be perceived, it cannot be understood, understand by the mind. Senses, you cannot perceive it. How can I believe, sir? What you are talking about this Brahman, you are giving the good best examples and space and snake and pot and all that, but still I am having doubt whether really such a kind of Brahman exists, which cannot be known by the mind, which cannot be grasped by the senses. You are talking about the darkness which is not there. Darkness, nothing is there. Are you talking about the Sunyam, void? Then you asked me to practice 20 hard principles. You are asking me to give up my ahankara, give up my dambham, vanity, proudness, everything. With such a great difficulty, I practiced 20 point program, but ultimately this Brahman very difficult to understand or get it. Then what is the use of doing all that sadhanas? And if such doubt comes in the sadhaka's mind, the mumukshu, and he will loses the enthusiasm and he becomes a pessimist. That should not happen. Therefore, Bhagavan telling this shloka, no, don't think in that way. What I am talking is the truth, fact. Why you are worrying that then I have to perceive it, I have to understand it, when I will know? If anybody, after listening Vedanta properly, ask this question, when I will know Brahman, then you are the utter ignorant person. You didn't understand what teacher is teaching. You cannot know the Brahman as the object. You are asking, when can I know Brahman? That I itself is Brahman. Drop the knowing and all that. As somebody went to Ramana Maharshi Bhagavan and asked, Bhagavan, I want peace of mind. Then he told you, keep that I and want word side. Peace is there already. You are peace. Shantoyam Atma. Like that, what you are thinking, I have a brain, I have intellect, I want to know. Hey, you, the person who is asking, I, that is the Brahman. Then why you want to know? Why you want to know? And you cannot know in that way because the subject can never be known by the object. The object can never become the subject. I have given the example in the last class, I think. Our eyes, in whole lifetime, they cannot see themselves original eyes. They cannot see themselves not even once. Because of that, do you say any time, I have no eyes? If you are really blind, you may say. But you are moving, working in the world and then say, because I didn't see my eyes, how can I believe? Have you raised any question, any time such a question? Because you know, because I am having the eyes, then only I am able to see everything. Therefore, I have to see my eyes. It is not possible. You cannot see your own eyes. Very important point to meditate this. Same way, Bhagavan said, Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi. It's a light of all lights. Upanishads do the same expression in many places. Jyotisham api. That means whichever generally you think as the light, sunlight, moonlight, starlights, or this any other fire, for all these lights, that is the light. Now, how to understand this point? Okay. How you know that sun is there? Because my eyes are able to see, recognize the light. Now, darkness comes. You are not seeing the sun. How you know? My eyes telling that darkness is there, sun is not there. Now, to say sun is there and sun is not there, your eyes are only not the criteria. You. If you are not there, who will tell the sun is there, sun is not there? Star is there, star is not there. Fire is there, fire is not there. Who will tell? You. Therefore, you are the light of the light. You are the light of the light. To understand these points, you must come out of the limitations. If you think about this limited body mind complex and think difficult, that's why think beyond this body and mind complex limitation, then only something can be grasped clearly. Therefore, Jyotishama. So, same way, fire, star, anything. You know, I am. This I, this is our expression. Every time, all the time, I am. In Tamil, nan. My. Any language. If you take English, I is the existence, am is the consciousness. I exist and I know I exist. I am. So, Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi. For this, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, Kato Upanishad, Shankara quotes, reminds, which we are very much familiar about that. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. Hundreds and thousands of times in every temple, in every puja. That is Upanishad mantra. What it says? The same thing. What Krishna is telling here, okay, this comes in the Shvetashvatara, 6th chapter, 14th verse, and in Kathopanishad, same expression in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter also, Purushottama Yoga, Bhagavan, Yadadityagatam tejaha jagadbhasayate khilam yaschandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. Whatever you see, the effulgence, light and glory in the fire, in the sun, in the moon, in the stars, everything, that is my tejas. My means here what? Not Krishna telling. Krishna telling by he himself putting in the Brahman state, not Ishvara or Avatara, and he is telling you also understand that you are the Brahman. From the Brahman's absolute standpoint, no difference between Krishna and me. But Upadhi standpoint, time standpoint, and the space, 5,000 years before Krishna Avatara, in that place, Mathura, that is all not true. This teaching, that Krishna is teaching this, for us also to recognize, and how he claims, same way we should claim. That is what Upanishads teaches. Bhagavad Gita also teaches, but still, whenever, that's why I used to say, whenever Bhagavan says aham adi, aham Bhagavan, whenever uses the word mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, my sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva, whatever, wherever, hundreds of times he uses that me, mayi, in me, mine, mattaha. Always I used to remind, I should apply that I, that me, whatever Bhagavan says, I should apply the listener. Then the knowledge will take place. If you keep Krishna as a third person and Brahman is another person like that, then it is like a story. It's not a story. If at all a story, it is about you. It is about you. So, Jyotisham avitat Jyotihi, and not only that, it is a Tamasaha Param Uchyate. It is beyond the darkness. General meaning. Tamasaha means darkness, it beyond the darkness. What it means? Here darkness means ignorance. So it is beyond the ignorance. Means what? There is no place for ignorance in the Brahman who is the knowledge. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. This is a Gnana Swarupam. How the ignorance can appear, stay there. Or if you take it as a darkness, I told many times the small story, no? So somebody goes and tells to Surya Bhagavan, O Lord Sun, see that mist darkness is always coming to our country and covering everything like that. Why you can't scold her? What poor sun can do? He asked, who is Miss Darkness? I never know. In my dictionary, darkness word is not there. Sun telling. Okay, suppose as you said, I will go in search of the Miss Darkness. Can the darkness can exist? Best, a very good example. But sometimes we will say in a funny way, Miss Darkness want to marry the sun. Okay, go and marry. When the darkness try to approach the sun, what will happen? It disappears. Our simple example given by Ramakrishna Paramsa is the salt doll wants to know the depth of the ocean. Gross example. It jumped into the ocean. What will? It won't remain because it is the ocean only. It is a form of ocean. It cannot exist. Same way Jivatma wants to know the Paramatma and trying to go. It disappears. It disappears. The thread of the cloth searching for the The cloth searching for the thread, the cloth of our dress searching for the thread, and the waves searching for the water. Same way Jiva searching for Brahman. But what is the truth? The cloth itself is the thread. The waves itself is the water. The Jiva itself is the Brahman. This wasteful, useless search ends in disappearance. Therefore, when this ego small I disappears, the big I, original I, actual I, Brahma will shine. To disappear, to make this small I to disappear only, Ishwararpitam nechaya krutam sarvam Ishwararpana bhavena karma kuru sarvam karma phalam Ishwara prasada buddhena svikuru. That's it. Correct it there. If that is corrected, your karma yoga is proper, your upasana is properly understood and done, then you end up and land in the grand Gnanam. Grand. Okay. So, second line. Now, whatever I have spoken to you about the Gnanam, Gneyam and Gnanagamyam. Actually, this Gnanagamyam word is added. So, we talked about the Gnanam, the 20-point program. Now, I told about the Gneya Vastu Swarupam, Brahman, and this should be the goal, Gnanagamyam. Ultimately, now here practicing of that all the sadhanas and Brahman is explained. Now your life goal should be, so that means all your sadhanas should lead and end in Gnanam, absolute Brahman, oneness. Ekameva dvitiyam nehana nasti kinchana. There you have to drop everything. Everything. As our Shankaracharya told in the Nirvana Shatkam, Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, Guru, Sishya, Shastra, Mata, Pita. So many enumerated now. If you hold on anything, still you have to struggle, including the God. But that Shastra, Gita never say directly like that, because the listener, in what state he is, we don't know. He misunderstands. Why these Vedantic people are talking like this? But this is the truth. Why? It's simple, logical. When you keep God outside, naturally all problems will be there. He is very far, he is not appearing, I have to struggle to go to Vaikuntha, I have to struggle to go to there. All these things comes. And always I don't know that when he scolds me, when he becomes angry on me, because Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. When you put the Lord outside, somewhere, in some form, you have to pay for it. But pay in the life, that's why the bhakti aspect, some years, some part of the life should be there. It is needed. Karma yoga is needed, bhakti yoga is needed, but all that is not the end. Only Vedantic Acharyas only can say boldly, courageously like this. Other many teachers are there, Acharyas are there, they won't say. But they know, because When crowd comes so much public, how they can say this kind of teaching cannot be given. This is only for a selected, sincere, I want only the moksha, liberation, while living, now and here. To such students only this Bhagavad Gita teaching in this way. Not again Bhagavad Gita teaching in the ISKCON way. ISKCON way is the missing way. I won't say it is bad or anything. But look from this standpoint. How many differences they are talking? How long you talk about the differences? Okay, that is helping some people, let it continue. But it is like a beating around the bush again. That's why Jnanam is the straight and only path. Only path, remember that. After all that you have to come here only. You cannot escape. What is the proof? These are not my words. Krishna himself told many times, many places. Upanishads tells. In Bhagavata also he tells, but indirectly inside it is there. In Uddhava Gita he tells. In Rama Gita, Rama teaches to Lakshmana. Then what else you want? In Brahma Sutra, Vyasa Bhagavan tells, you have no eligibility, capacity to come to this level. Okay, you come through the step 1, step 2, step 3, like that. But here what we have to say, by keeping the Bhagavad Gita in the front of me, according to the acharyas of the great Shankara Parampara, all this, I have to speak that only. So therefore, never take it as it looks like a very dry like that. Actually, this is the juicy, not dry. By coming to this understanding of higher knowledge, your devotion becomes still finer and finer. Therefore, this is the way. Then, so Gnanam, Gnanagamyam, finally, where this Gnanam, Gneyam and Gnanagamyam, they are Hridi, Sarvasya Hridi Vishtitam. Finally, where you have to work, with what you have to work. So it is the goal in itself, by itself. It is the goal in itself, by itself. That is the meaning of Gnanam, Gneyam, Gnanagamyam, Hridi. Hridi, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye, Kevala Brahma Matram. Vishtitam. This is not a dogma, something. It is sitting there. It is available there. It is shining there. Work on it. Work on it. Just now we started this Saddarshanam, no? In the first shloka itself, Ramana Bhagavan tells clearly that Sat Prityayaha Kimnu Vihaya Santam. He starts like, without this Sat, Shuddha Sat, whether these thoughts all can exist around it? Santam Vihaya Sat Prityayaha Kimnu? They cannot exist. Then where is this Sat? What is its name? That Sat name is called Hrit. Hrit Akshaha, and it is Hridi. Then again question asked, how can I remember it? I mean, how can I know it? Katam smaramaha eshaha santam tasya smruti tatra drudhaiva nishtha. to recognize it or to remember it, to know it. You say anything. Tatra Hridi. See the word Hridi. That's why I'm referring that shloka. Hridi. Tatra Drudhaiva Nishta. Firm abidance in it itself is its recognition. Firm abidance itself is the knowing of it. No other way. Tatra is that Hrudi. Very cryptic and small simple words conveying the, that's why that we will taking as a Mangala Shloka, because everything is told there and the Sat Brahman is started talking. Apart from the Brahman, what is the Mangalam? There is nothing great auspicious thing than the Brahman, because whatever you think the auspicious things are all exist in the Brahman. Because of the Brahman, Jyoti Shamapi Tad Jyotihi. So with this, we will conclude here. Next class we will see the other shlokas. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.